before I start this video, I just want to give a bit of context and introduce myself. So my name is Flo, I'm 21 years old and I just finished uni last summer, and I'm trying to figure out what the next steps are for me. And since then I've been working, I've been traveling, and one of the things I've been doing is making videos because I love making videos, I love telling stories. And in this video I want to share my 5 favorite things about Lebanon. I went to Lebanon a couple weeks ago with no expectations, no plans really, and I didn't really know much about the country, but I learned a lot and I really liked it. So in this video I want to share my 5 favorite things. They're in no particular order, but I think number 4 and number 3 are my favorite, so you're gonna have to watch to find out what they are. Also, I just want to introduce the main people in the video. So first there's Rob, who I went to visit in Lebanon. I met him a couple of months ago when I was traveling in Spain. Then there's Adam, who I met in Lebanon, and you'll see how that happened in the video. Dina, who I met in London a couple months ago, and Yassine, who I met in Munich in the summer, and then I met him in London again. So yeah, all of these people I met within the last 5 to 6 months, which is crazy to me, and it's a whole other story in itself. But yeah, hopefully you learned something from this video and hopefully you enjoy. Let's go! My first favorite thing about Lebanon was its nature. The variety of landscapes it has to offer is simply amazing, and all within just a couple of hours from the capital city of Beirut.
Oh my god, this is insane.
From the clear blue sea to the beautiful snowy mountains, incredible valleys and hidden waterfalls, I had no idea I would see so many beautiful places in such a small amount of time. Insane! What?
Oh wow, are we in Lebanon? Or are we in Canada or something?
So we're going to the south of Lebanon, one of the oldest cities in the world. It's called Tyre in French, or Sur in Arabic. And it's pretty crazy because there's Roman ruins that date from like the 1st century. We're gonna be diving, more than diving, snorkeling.
Wow. My biggest like fears like, this is life, baby!
Hey, we're skiing today in Lebanon. Yesterday we were at the beach, and today we're skiing 2,400 meters uphill. Peace, brothers and sisters. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. This is so nice. Wow. These were only the first 2 days, and we did not stop there. We got to explore more of the northern part of the country, particularly these beautiful mountains, and of course we had to add a twist to the adventure.
It's good. It's very good. Shirtless hike in Lebanon. Alhamdulillah. Hey!
Dude, this is amazing. This is awesome. Welcome to my office.
I love your office. I want to join you.
We're in the mountains doing a shirtless hike, but we're not abiding by the rules.
Yeah, we're not abiding by the shirtless
Because we don't want to die. But it's fine. I don't feel really cold. It's just my face and my hair is wet.
I don't feel anything.
Yeah,
but the guys are like suffering. Or no, I'm just kidding. They are doing very well.
Okay, just to give a bit of context, so I just fell in the snow, and when you fall in the snow, you just can't feel your body anymore. So I couldn't feel my hands, I couldn't open my bag, anything, and my heart rate started to panic and to accelerate. So I just put the stuff back on, and he wants to tell a story of his experience.
This is the thing that you have to take into consideration whenever you are on a snow hike. Do not go alone. Rule number 1, okay? And whenever you don't feel your body, or you feel that you're not gonna make it, just put on some clothes. It's very difficult to open the bag because you're not gonna be feeling your hands. This is the main important part of the hike itself. They were in a panic situation.
Yeah.
With a short breathing.
Yeah.
And
They weren't thinking clearly.
Yeah.
That's
They cannot think clearly, and they cannot focus on what they are
I mean,
doing.
you can see
And this
Adam's face is blue.
Okay, now they feel better, no?
I'm not.
No, worse.
You're not?
Because
You're not? Okay, so we go all down. So, okay, خلاص. Next. Robert.
We're going downhill now. Gosh. How beautiful. Honestly, 3 days ago, wow, this is painful. 3 days ago we were in the sea, and now we're in the mountains hiking in the snow, and oh my gosh, this is
cold.
What astonished me was that Lebanon was small enough for us to go to the mountains and the sea the same day if we wanted. And so the next day we went to a city north of Beirut called Byblos, which is actually one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. We watched a beautiful sunset by the sea, and the day after that we were back in the mountains.
Oh my god. This is so incredible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh my god. Rob is on there.
What's up?
Tyre.
Yo, they just began, just to tell you, just to warn you a bit. Oh my god, this is insane.
My second favorite thing about Lebanon is its incredible history. Lebanon is home to some of the oldest cities in the world. Byblos, Tyre, and Tyre were some of the most prominent cities of the Phoenician, Roman, and Byzantine empires, explaining why it is so rich in history and why we stumbled upon antique artifacts and ruins consistently.
They dug everything out because they were constructing this thing.
Do you think people know we're tourists?
You can definitely tell we're tourists.
And now we're gonna visit the old part of the city, which is over there. I don't know. I never come. It's pottery that dates from the 1st century. What? There's thousands of them. You'll find better. You see that? Water.
Pizza.
We should take a photo, all of us. I was like, we don't have money, but I'm really interested. Like, I'm gonna start asking you questions.
Yeah.
And then I asked for each artifact and stuff. Like, what is this? What is that?
Yeah.
And he would tell us like stories. It comes from a lot of like different empires. There's like Phoenician Empire, Roman Empire, like Byzantine. I don't know if you say that. Byzantine, Egyptian. There was like some stuff because this was an old port, and some Egyptians would come to like exchange some spices and stuff here. And they would bring like artifacts with them as well. And he found some of them here. Like he knows all the secret spots around like the city. Yeah. I think I'm gonna buy a metal detector, like an underwater metal detector.
And just go.
And come here. Dude, it's, oh my gosh. I met a guy 2 weeks ago. He's like the best guy to find like fish fossils in Lebanon, which is one of the best places in the world to find fish fossil. And because of the fossils of Lebanon, we could study the evolution of sharks and like sea turtles and jellyfish and some species of fish as well. 100 million. It's crazy. And it's in the mountains you find this.
Before humans.
Like the two tectonic plates like collided and made the mountain chain of Lebanon, and now it's like doing the opposite and separating.
Oh, hi. How are we right now?
We are in Spain, walking towards the sea.
Apparently one of the oldest cities in the world.
One of the oldest cities in the world, Byblos. It used to be Phoenician, and then it was part of the Roman Empire.
C'est incroyable.
Le grand-père, le père, les fils, ils vont tous rester là. La même
Toi,
maison qui passe
à la
de
base,
père.
tu es de Jbel.
Ouais.
C'est fou. Et tu es très probablement phénicien.
Moi, c'est pas vrai.
D'origine.
That's insane.
Wow. This is octopus?
Yes.
When I was 8 or 9 years old, I would always like go with my own like hammer and break, and I found fishes like big like that, like intact. So I was very, very proud of myself.
Il n'y a pas de bruit.
Can you run like this?
This is where I am right now. I'm sitting in a 8th century town. It's so beautiful. You can see the mountains. It's just amazing. Oh my gosh. Of course, I cannot make this video without mentioning the food, which is my third favorite thing about Lebanon. How is it, Adam?
Really good.
Most of the time we finish eating before getting a chance to film it, but that should give you a pretty good indication of how delicious it was.
This is mukhlif. Mukhlif is not something you can describe with words, it's a feeling inside.
We just had an amazing dinner with this cook, and the boss is right here. This is Durrito. He's my little pig. And this is Pepito, who's like very skeptical about everything.
He likes everybody.
Next up, the people. We consistently encountered incredibly kind and generous people, and I always felt very welcome. We noticed so many small acts of kindness that made our overall experiences extra special. And one of my favorite moments was when we were invited for some tea in the Bekaa Valley by some locals. We were always greeted with a smile, and even when we got stuck in the snow, people readily came to help us out.
It's just too funny. The car is stuck in the snow.
I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be laughing quite soon. So Rob, typical Rob, got stuck in the snow in the car, and we're reversing into the lane he's in to try to pull him out. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to put our car as well in a compromising position, but we're gonna see and update you later. No asked me to film, it wasn't even me. Now I also want to mention the people I was with during this trip because they mean so much to me, and it was really crazy that we were all in Lebanon at the same time.
No, we're in Lebanon right now. This is crazy. I can't believe you two are here right now. It's insane.
You see, I'd always wanted to visit Lebanon as I had a lot of good Lebanese friends growing up, so of course I couldn't say no when Rob invited me to come. Adam, who had previously only spoken to on the phone, was also visiting him, so Rob and I decided to surprise him.
Now we're gonna make an incredible surprise. Adam, meet Flo.
Holy shit! It's so random.
Dude, she flew from Germany.
Little did I know, Rob also managed to surprise me, as my good friends Dina and Yassine flew in a couple days later as well.
Sorry, what are you doing here?
Surprise! What are you doing here?
I have no idea.
Having friends that you get along with is pretty amazing. But having friends who encourage you and push you to try new things is even more amazing.
We're in Lebanon, baby!
Especially when they're such talented people. I was able to observe them working, and their dedication and creativity truly inspired me.
And Yassine is committed to the cause.
What's also so special to me is that we're all passionate about storytelling, whether through videos or photos, and therefore we're all able to learn from each other and help each other.
We're all now in a Starbucks, and yo, this is gonna become epic. We're speaking music right now. And before we were speaking finances and gear list, and this footage we're gonna be using it in a couple of months for our vlogs, so stay tuned.
My fifth favorite thing about Lebanon are the lessons that this trip taught me. You might have heard about the current state of Lebanon in the news, but if you haven't, the country is in the midst of the revolution at the moment, and I got to experience it during my stay.
Okay, so now it's the first time that like the whole roadway is closed down. And we're the only ones with this dude in front of us.
Wait,
why are they closed down? There's some people that are coming the other way on our lane just because they need to arrive to a place, and like all the roads are closed. Look at this guy. Like all the gas stations are completely full because there's no more like gasoline in the whole country, so everybody's filling everything because like tomorrow there won't be anything left or something. I don't know. Look at
why are the highways all closed down though?
They're all here, man. This is crazy.
Why are the highways closed down?
Because there's protesters that are closing down the roads with like tires that they burn. Do you want to go down on the streets later on? I think we're gonna be doing this, honestly. Where do I start? So we just like, we cross the street and there's a fucking bank that explodes. Like, it's incredible. There's like fire at the entrance of the bank, and I think it was a Molotov cocktail.
On est les premiers là. Oh mon dieu.
Bro, ça peut exploser à n'importe quel moment. Je sais. Attends, pousse-toi, c'est dangereux. This is her first day in Lebanon.
First in Lebanon.
Welcome to Lebanon. And like we're just 10 meters away, and we come back, and we see the building is on fire. It's just incredible. Welcome to Lebanon.
Now, I don't know enough to talk about this issue, but two things I observed were number one, the media can be very misleading and not reflect reality. And number two, it's amazing to see all sorts of people coming together to fight for a better future during this critical part of Lebanon's history. And despite all the hardships, people do their best to go about their daily lives and still be welcoming and kind to others. This trip also reminded me that you can make the best out of bad situations and there's always another way. Closed off roads meant that we got to take detours and see landscapes we might have otherwise missed. And finally, this trip was a reminder not to have any expectations, because when I arrived in Beirut, I had no idea what an adventure it would be and just how much I would love this country. So if you take anything from this video, know that Lebanon is an incredible country and try not to have any expectations because you will end up pleasantly surprised.